This week's Torah portion is jam-packed, so many things going on. The Israelites are heading out in the desert. A lot of balagan starts happening, right? Misbehaving. There are punishments. A lot of the Israelites are killed. Mystically, this Torah portion is of great importance because it is the only instance, the only Torah portion where God reveals himself, unlike anywhere else in the entire Bible. We won't get into that. I'd like to touch upon one incident. Towards the end of the Torah portion, Moshe's siblings, Aaron and Miriam and Aaron, speak slanderous words about Moshe. They say something, about the relationship between Moshe and his wife, Tzipporah. And God's response, ויאמר השם פתאום אל משה ואל אהרון ואל מרים, צאו שלושתכם אל אהרון או אל אוהל מועד ויצאו שלושתם. God suddenly says to the three, come, we need to talk. Suddenly, pitom. This is the only instance in the Bible where God suddenly does something. God never suddenly does anything. It doesn't appear anywhere else. God talks, God vayomer, God vaydaber. We pray to God and God answers. This is the only place where it says pitom. Why? Right? Onkelos, right? A translator of the Bible into Aramaic 2,000 years ago, because that's what Jews spoke. He says pitom is techef. All of a sudden. Right? So much so that according to another commentator, Miriam hadn't even finished saying what she was saying and already God was there. So what is going on? The word pitom suddenly only appears in one other instance in the Bible, and I think it'll help us to understand God's reaction and the severity. So in last week's Torah portion, we learnt about the Nazirite, the Nazir, and one of the conditions for segregating himself or separating himself from society is he can't even attend the funeral of a loved one or a family member because this can cause impurity. And the way the Bible describes this death is by lefeta pitom. All of a sudden someone passes away, right? Even in that instance, the Nazirite can't go. And I think this is very dramatic because on the first time where the word pitom suddenly appears, it is perhaps symbolic to teach it, right? That's what we fear. That's what scares us about death. We don't know when it's going to happen, and perhaps it's symbolic of, or it shows, we don't know how this world works, right? At least that's what I think. And that's what I think pitom comes to show us with this incident of death. And the other incident, the only other one where it appears, and the only time it's attributed to God, is here when two people have spoken, siblings of Moshe, slanderous words. Even if by accident, according to one of the views, pitom also hints that Miriam and Aaron, they didn't really mean to say what they were saying. It just sort of came out. But it is so severe that God, pitom, this word appears, and God suddenly appears before them. If you like, I think the sense that I can make of this is that there is nothing worse than slanderous words. There's nothing worse than lashon hara. And perhaps it is because just like we don't know when a tragic thing is going to happen, when someone will pass away, we also do not know the impact of our words, even though they're invisible, upon someone else's lives. Where bad words can ruin someone else's lives. And I think perhaps that's what the Torah is trying to teach us here. If you like, Parashat Beha'alotcha is a prelude to Parashat Shlach, next week's Torah portion where the Israelites commit the greatest sin, right? Slanderous words against the land of Israel. Perhaps Beha'alotcha is an attempt on a leadership level, God trying to teach a lesson by punishing leaders to show the Israelites how severe slanderous words are, and how things could have been different. Incredible Parsha. Shabbat Shalom.